Sup, boys? So it's been a while. Well, actually, no, it hasn't. I recently made a video on this channel about 3 or 4 days ago, and we're back here again today. So more than one video in a week. This is probably a record for my channel in like 10 years. So here we are, guys. Today, I want to talk to you all about subscriber-only streams. Now, this idea of subscriber-only streams came out, I don't know, about a month ago or so. And whenever this happened, I think it was a leak or announcement or something like that. I originally thought that this was going to be pretty much exclusively for esports and different types of events like that. And maybe it was Twitch trying to make a foray into the idea of maybe having pay-per-view events hosted on Twitch, because let's be honest, if you want to watch the most recent pay-per-view soccer game, it's on Twitch already. Same with MMA, same with boxing, same with everything else in between. Any sort of pay-per-view event is always being rebroadcast on Twitch, including porn. So anyway, Twitch decided today, and of course whenever this was announced originally, the community in their normal fashion and normal sense decided to go completely fucking apeshit and got really mad about it. So today, Twitch decided that because communities are the core factor, the core element, and what really makes Twitch Twitch. There's a double meaning there. Probably also true. Well, anyway, in order to focus on communities, Twitch is going to segregate them with subscriber-only streams. And this is going to allow people to segregate their communities and only let subscribers watch certain streams. Now, I don't think this is a good idea. I'm going to just go and say this is the short version. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't also think that this is a deal with the devil that is going to ruin the entire platform and make Twitch irrelevant, and I hate all streamers. Okay, like that's also not what I think. But I do think the idea of streamers using sub-only streams and everything like that is not only a bad idea in terms of like your relationship with your audience, but it's also a bad idea even if you only care about money. And I want to talk about that and why I think that is, and where I think Twitch could go with this that could be positive. And honestly, the main way I think they could go with this is backwards. Just don't do it. Get rid of the feature or whatever, unless you want to do it for specific events that are hosted on pay-per-view sources and other places. Something like, like the Floyd versus Mayweather fight. I remember that was getting rebroadcast all over Twitch. And every single other one too, like the Floyd Mayweather versus Khabib. I remember that was on Twitch, and just basically every single one. Today there was like 300,000 viewers on Twitch that were all trying to watch some sort of a soccer game or football game, right? And anyway, the point that I'm trying to make here is that if Twitch wants to go in that round and make a foray into that type of content in the same way that I think that they've been trying to do this more, right? I mean, Twitch is no longer just a gaming website. Anybody that says that Twitch is a gaming website is, they're just behind the times. It's just simply not. You have IRL streams, you have cooking streams, you have creative streams, you have all kinds of different stuff, and just chatting streams, game shows, and Twitch has even tried to today. Bernie Sanders got verified on Twitch. Now, I have a pretty good feeling that Bernie Sanders isn't going to play Minecraft, all right? He's probably just going to, actually, probably nothing's going to happen. Somebody on his social media team thought this would be a good idea, and Bernie Sanders is never going to go live on Twitch. But, that being said, the idea of, having different political people, and I think they had the Washington Post come on Twitch as well. This is Twitch's, they're trying to diversify their platform. So if they're trying to use these sub-only streams as a way to incentivize different types of organizations coming onto their platform and making the sub-only streams a way to incentivize them to do that, then I think that's fine. But whenever you get into individual streamers using sub-only streams, then I think that we begin to have a problem. Now, I've been seeing a lot of people do this thing where, and everybody does this all the time, right? If there's ever a tragedy, if there's ever anything really big where it's the popular opinion, everybody makes a tweet about it and says how terrible it is and how they don't support it, and they change their, it's like they change your Facebook profile to the flag of the country that's had the most recent tragedy, right? And I think that it's slightly disingenuous and basically transparent and meaningless. But I also think that there is an element of truth in it too, because I don't think these things are going to help individual streamers, and here's why. So even if you only care about the money, even if everybody on Twitch is completely neutral to the idea of sub-only streams, I still think it's a bad idea, because what is the Holy Bible? What is the golden rule, the golden metric? Well, actually, not even gold. What is the red metric? that matters to streams. Viewer count. That's the only thing that people really give a fuck about. And if you ask somebody how big is a stream, they're not going to look at the follower count. They don't give a fuck about the subs. They look at the active viewer count, and that's all that matters. And I am sorry to say, but with these sub-only streams, you're going to get a lower viewer count. So whenever you do something that is going to intentionally lower the amount of people that are able to consume your content, you're going to be harming your content in the long term. Now, maybe in the short term, it could be a good incentive to get people to maybe subscribe to watch some Friday night stream that you wouldn't do normally, but now you're going to do it since it's sub only, etc. But I also think that's a bad idea too. I think that if you want to do something like that, you should do it on a second channel. And for me personally, that's what I would do if I was ever going to do something like this. Instead of doing sub only streams, I would just do them on a second account, and that way anybody could just come in and say whatever the hell they wanted and just hang out. And I would make that would be much more comfortable for me, and would also avoid the phenomenon that people have, this is a codified phrase, subscriber fatigue, that people have talked about on YouTube. That's whenever you start uploading so many videos that people get tired of seeing them in their inbox and they just stop paying attention to your content. Or if people, let's say, get a few videos from your YouTube channel and they don't really like those videos and those videos don't really appeal to them, they get in the habit of, now you've just created a habit of them not watching and not looking at your content. And that's obviously not a good idea. You don't have to be a five-head psychologist. You don't have to be Jordan Peterson or something like that, some, mind wizard, to know that creating an expectation or hurting the expectation of whenever I see the stream is online, I can watch it. Whenever you break that loop, you're obviously going to be doing yourself a disservice. This isn't, any sort of like a divine insight that I have at all. It's common sense. So you're going to be hurting your discoverability. And another way that you can look at this is how many people that have moved over from Twitch, by moved over, I mean being banned on Twitch, and then they go and they stream on another platform. Do their audiences follow them? Yeah, some do, sure, of course. But over time, the audience, as if you have, like, let's say 100,000 people, every day you're going to be losing some of those people, because let's say they get married, they don't have time to watch your stream anymore. They get a new job that gives them, they're not able to watch your stream at the same times anymore, because I am so sick of these fucking moths, dude. I am so sick of them. Anyway, so let's say they get a new job that, happens to, have them working at the same times that you're streaming, and they're not lucky enough to be like all of my viewers, which apparently all watch me from work. So, they actually have to do something at their job, and they're not able to watch you anymore. And it could be for something completely not your fault. It's not like, oh, you made this person mad and they stopped watching, etc. No, their life just moves on and they stop watching your content, and it's not your fault at all. But if you're not replenishing those people at the same rate that you are losing them at, you're losing viewers, you're losing your audience. That's what happens. And one thing that Twitch does, and this is like, Twitch is not going to kill the platform by doing this. This is ridiculous. They're not going to kill the platform. Twitch is the biggest and largest live streaming platform that there is, and it will continue to be the biggest and largest live streaming platform that there is, because they literally are buying market share by creating Twitch Prime. Amazon is subsidizing Twitch, incentivizing something that's much stronger and much more powerful in terms of incentivization than any other brand or any other platform can compete with Twitch Prime. Like, it's just a huge way for streamers to never leave the platform unless they get banned. But that's kind of more of a tangent. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this is not going to kill Twitch. This might lose them, it might lose them some trust in the community, and I think that's pretty much a given. But I also don't think that a lot of streamers are going to take advantage of this either. And this is also, like, this is kind of I'm going to kind of go both ways with this. So I don't think streamers are going to take advantage of this, because even if you look at it from a purely financial standpoint, it's going to be a loss. You lose discoverability, because if you have less viewers, you appear lower in the directory. If you appear lower in your directory, that's going to make it harder for people to discover your channel. It's like, for example, if you are at the top of the directory for, let's say, Fortnite, or another popular game, League of Legends, or WoW, that kind of brings you some of those just kind of less interested and less invested viewers that are just going to watch whatever the top stream is. Like, I don't know how many of you guys, there's ever been a new game that's come out and you click on the directory for the new game, and let's say you don't know anybody that's on the directory, you're probably going to just click the one that has the highest view count first, at least. So I think that's usually what happens with a lot of people. And so if you do something to harm that position by doing subscriber only stream, which will again innately give you less viewers, well, then you're probably going to have a bad time. And I also don't think that this is really going to be helpful for smaller streamers. It's not going to be helpful for larger streamers, etc. But there is also another element of this that I do want to talk about, and that's the fact that the concern and the anger and the real vitriol that's coming about this is coming from a lot of the people who are, people that are invested in streaming and streams to a level that they talk about them and discuss them in the meta of live streaming on these different platforms like Livestream Fail and Twitter, etc. Most people don't do that. Most people purely just go to Twitch and they click on a stream, they watch the stream, and then they log off. Or maybe they don't even have an account. They just watch the stream. There's plenty of people that tell me, or at least they used to tell me whenever I was mostly on YouTube, yeah, I don't have a Twitch account, but I follow you and I watch you on Twitch. There's a ton of people who I'm sure do that with like Fortnite streamers, etc. So I think that a lot of the people that are part of the very, very invested and engaged community on Twitch, many of them revolve and orbit around a lot of these personality streamers. Mostly people that are like personality streamers versus gameplay streamers. So what a big surprise that the people that are the most strongly invested are the ones who are invested in personalities and not necessarily games. Big surprise, but they're also not the majority. If you look at the amount of people that are browsing like something like Livestream Fail or whatever, and then you look at the total amount of people that are on Twitch, it's like less than 3%, like less than 5%. So the odds are that most people are not going to have this extremely vitriolic, angry reaction to streamers using sub-only mode. They're probably just going to click on the stream. If they're not subbed, you're like, okay, and then they just go to the next one. That's it. That's probably what they're going to do. There's not going to be a, breakdown that they have. I'm going to fucking unfollow you and I'm never going to watch any of your stuff again. No. They're probably just going to click to the next stream because that's just what normal people do. Just stop watching it. And so that also is not good, by the way. It's not like it's a better alternative than somebody freaking out and then going on a crusade against you. Yeah, sure. But that's like comparing, I don't know, getting your arm cut off versus getting your finger cut off. Like, they're both bad, but one's just better than the other. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is that I don't really see sub-only streams being positive for any streamer. I also don't think that, like, there are these people that also think that, okay, well, this is where the cam girls are going to come onto Twitch and they're going to do strip teases on the, on Twitch now that they have sub-only streams. So they're like, okay, tune in on Friday and, we're going to have a real sexy stream or something like that. Now, this is obviously probably not going to happen either. Why is that not going to happen? Because all of those girls probably are already pushing the limits of the TOS to begin with. So the stream that they're going to be doing that's going to be sub-only is going to have the exact same rules that they're barely skirting to begin with than is the normal streams. So it's not like people are going to, get naked and they have no TOS on these other streams. It's going to be completely the same rules. And obviously subscribers will probably report them. Admins will probably see it, especially at the beginning. And it's not really going to be much of a thing. I think that the whole concept of this happening is just completely overblown. But in general, even if it's not, I don't really give much of a shit one way or another. But I do think that people take it a little bit too seriously. And, I feel like people want to create situations in which a streamer is using this because they're just have like some sort of like free-floating animosity or envy or discontent, or I don't know what you really want to call it, vitriol or jealousy towards the streamer or certain streamers, and they just want to have some sort of a reason to be able to let that out in a way that's socially acceptable. So that's basically what I think a lot of people's frustrations or anger around the sub-only streams are, is that they're just looking for something to get mad at somebody that they don't like about, right? It's like they already didn't like you, but now they have a reason to do it, and they feel better about that. To me personally, I don't really see myself using these sub-only streams. It doesn't really make much sense to me for all the reasons that I already listed. And also, like, I have people tell me all the fucking time, like, okay, I'm like a 28-year-old, fucking disabled vet, and I watch your stream, and it's fucking fun. And Like, how am I gonna tell that dude, like, oh yeah, now you have to pay to watch the stream? Get the fuck out of here. Of course I'm not gonna do that. There's no way. If I ever wanted to do something that's like more of a chill experience or whatever, I'd do events at like, you know, no, late and on Discord, or I'd just make a second channel. So I don't really see myself doing sub only mode. I don't really think that it's some sort of, you know, death knell or, you know, final nail in the coffin for Twitch either. I think it's just another one of their, you know, just something that they probably, maybe this is step one in a 5-step plan that Twitch has with like trying to attract new people over to the audience and the platform, and it just doesn't really seem like it makes sense to us right now. But I do hope Twitch is able to, you know, take this idea of sub-only streams and actually turn it into a positive, because right now it just seems like a way to segregate the community and a way to generate unrest and discontent and resentment in your community to begin with. And I don't really know what to do about that, honestly, other than probably just not using it or getting rid of the idea. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I could see a lot of, you know, the more, I guess, like, quote, normie streamers maybe using this for, you know, gameplay streams, etc., or like late night stuff. But even then, I don't really think it's going to be, I don't really think it's going to be particularly popular. But anyway, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. I just wanted to give my thoughts and put my thoughts out there. I think that a lot of people have probably already said everything that I've said in this video, but, you know, as somebody who streams on Twitch and everything, I'd like to just put my opinion out there and tell you guys pretty much what I think. So yeah, not really going to be using it myself. I don't really think that it's a financial gain to use it either. And oh, one more thing. The idea that you want to make your best content sub only is so backwards. Like, if I like the best stream that I could possibly do, I want as many people to see that as possible. I don't care about making just a little bit more money, because the exposure of having hundreds of thousands of people potentially see this stream that's really, really good is worth so much more to me in the long run than maybe getting 1,000 extra bucks. You know, it's so much bigger and so much more. And I see people that are looking at this as a positive as being so short-sighted and narrow-minded. And I really hope they don't actually take action on it, because they're going to end up hurting themselves. Anyway, that's just one point that I wanted to try to make. Don't save your best content to be sub-only. That's what you really want to use to expand yourself and make money. And online, I think you always lose whenever you try to charge money for content that people can get for free. Anyway, boys, pretty much all I got. I'd be curious to hear your opinions and your thoughts, but it's pretty much all I've got. Thanks a lot for watching, and until next time, peace.